Today I bring you a theory that's both wild and intriguing, discussing an alternative way to reach LAUGHTALE, different from the well-known method of gathering the 4-road pony glyphs. This theory might sound incredible, but at the same time, it seems quite plausible when we analyze the clues Eiichiro Oda appears to have left in the recent chapters of the manga. Before we dive in, let me remind you that if you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel right now to help us reach 3,000 subscribers and make my dream come true. That said, let's get started with the video. Luis Arnaut is introduced as an explorer whose importance, while initially seeming minor, gains significance as the details of his story and his connections in the world of One Piece are analyzed. This character is the author of Brag Men, a book that at first glance appears to be a collection of fictional tales, but has proven to be much more than that. For instance, in Little Garden, the descriptions match reality, suggesting that this book is not mere fiction, but an authentic record of his travels and discoveries. What is truly intriguing is how this book surfaces at key moments in the plot. In Ohara, during the island's destruction, it is revealed that Brag Men was part of the library at the Tree of Knowledge, a place where scholars researched ancient history and collected texts of great value. This hints that it is not just any book, but something even the scholars of Ohara deemed worthy of preserving. Later we learn that many of these books were saved and moved to Elbaph, reinforcing the significance of Brag Men, now housed in one of the most important libraries in the world. Considering that Luis Arnaut was an explorer, it is logical to think that his book might contain valuable information, not only about the islands he visited, but also about places beyond what most characters in One Piece have reached. Although it is not explicitly mentioned that he documented anything related to the poneglyphs, it is possible that he found a way to record routes or methods to reach otherwise inaccessible places, such as LAUGHTALE, perhaps using encrypted language or a more subtle style. This could prove crucial in a story where much of the mystery revolves around how to reach this legendary island. The presence of Brag Men in Elbaph does not seem like a coincidence. Eiichiro Oda often leaves subtle clues that later connect to major revelations, and the reappearance of this book, along with the context of Luis Arnaut, suggests that the explorer may have played a more significant role in the secrets of the One Piece world. All of this makes both the book and its author seem like key elements in understanding upcoming events in the plot, especially regarding the mystery of LAUGHTALE. Luis Arnaut is not only significant for having written the book Brag Men, but also for the possibility that his story is directly connected to LAUGHTALE. While One Piece has shown us that reaching the final island of the Grand Line requires the 4-road poneglyphs, the idea that someone might have reached it through other means is an intriguing possibility. This is where the theory that Luis Arnaut could have been one of those individuals comes into play. Although there is no explicit confirmation of when Luis Arnaut lived, his profile as an explorer and the description of his journeys in Brag Men raise the possibility that he might have reached LAUGHTALE on his own, either before or after Joy Boy and Gul D. Roger. This would suggest that LAUGHTALE might not be as inaccessible as it has been portrayed, and that someone with sufficient knowledge and determination could have discovered an alternative route. What's particularly interesting is that if Luis Arnaut did indeed reach LAUGHTALE, it stands to reason that he left behind clues about how he did it. As an explorer, his work would have been to document his discoveries, and Brag Men might be precisely that record, albeit presented in a format that makes it seem like fiction. This aligns perfectly with Oda's storytelling style, where he masterfully introduces important elements subtly, only to highlight their significance later on. The fact that Brag Men appears in key locations like Ohara and Elbaph reinforces this idea. It's likely that while not a direct copy of what is inscribed on the poneglyphs, the book contains some form of encoded or indirect information that could help decipher the way to LAUGHTALE. This might be as simple as a reference to a natural phenomenon, a specific route, or a pattern that only someone with the right tools could uncover. The possibility that Luis Arnaut reached LAUGHTALE also raises intriguing questions about the control of information in the world of One Piece. If he truly made it there, his story might have been suppressed by the world government, much like they have tried to erase the poneglyphs and the history of the Void Century. This would further support the idea that Brag Men is not just a book of adventures, but a testament to something the world government sought to keep hidden. In this context, Luis Arnaut would not simply be another explorer, but a key figure in the history of One Piece. His connection to LAUGHTALE, while unconfirmed, fits logically within the world Oda has built, and his legacy, embodied in Brag Men, could serve as a crucial tool for anyone seeking to unravel the series' mysteries. The possible connection between Luis Arnaud and his book Bragmen with LAUGHTALE not only raises questions about the past, but also opens up new possibilities for the development of the One Piece storyline. If it is confirmed that this explorer left behind key information in his journal, its discovery could have direct implications for how the current characters compete to reach the final island of the Grand Line. For the Straw Hats, who have so far been following the traditional path of gathering the four-road poneglyphs, discovering an alternative route through Bragmen could become an unexpected solution if obstacles arise in completing the poneglyphs. For instance, if Blackbeard or Shanks manage to get ahead and acquire all four before them, the Straw Hats would need to find another way. This is where Luis Arnaud's book could act as a key to uncovering that alternative route, especially with Nico Robin leading the charge, capable of deciphering encrypted messages and finding connections beyond the obvious. On the other hand, this theory works in reverse as well. If the Straw Hats succeed in gathering all four poneglyphs, Bragmen could serve as a tool for other characters, such as Blackbeard or even Shanks, to discover an alternative path to LAUGHTALE. This would create an intriguing dynamic in the narrative, with different groups using unique methods to reach the same destination, reflecting the diversity of approaches and abilities in the world of One Piece. What's fascinating about this idea is how Bragmen could act as a bridge between the past and the present, connecting characters who never directly interacted. Imagine, for example, that Luis Arnaud left a message in his journal describing his experience reaching LAUGHTALE, or included a riddle that only someone with knowledge of the poneglyphs could solve. This would not only add depth to his character, but also highlight the importance of legacy and the transmission of knowledge in the series. The storytelling in One Piece is characterized by Oda's ability to introduce elements that seem like small details at first, but later become essential pieces of the larger narrative. Bragmen and Luis Arnaud fit perfectly into this pattern. The book could be the key to unraveling one of the series' greatest mysteries, while also serving as a narrative tool to explore different paths to LAUGHTALE and build tension among the various groups competing to reach the final island. Ultimately, the role of Bragmen would not be limited to being a passive source of information. It could act as a catalyst for current events, offering both challenges and opportunities to the characters who discover and interpret it correctly. This reinforces the idea that Luis Arnaud and his legacy hold far greater significance than initially apparent. Elbaph is a key element in this theory, as it reintroduces both Luis Arnaud and his book Bragmen at a crucial moment in the One Piece storyline. So far, Elbaph has been presented as a place of significant historical and cultural importance, home to the giants and one of the most prominent libraries in the world. The presence of the book in this context doesn't seem coincidental, but rather an intentional decision by Oda to emphasize its importance. The connection between Bragmen and Elbaph strengthens the idea that the book is not merely a collection of stories, but an artifact containing critical information for the world of One Piece. The library in Elbaph, which houses the books rescued from Ohara, becomes the ideal place for the Straw Hats to uncover clues that Luis Arnaud may have left about LAUGHTALE. The combination of Nico Robin's expertise with the poneglyphs and access to this book in the library could serve as the catalyst to unveil an alternative path to the final island. What's particularly intriguing is how this detail ties directly into the broader narrative of the One Piece world. Oda has constructed Elbaph as more than just another island. It's a place steeped in history, inhabited by a people with a deep connection to tradition and knowledge. The decision to include Bragmen in its library suggests that the book is more than a mere record of adventures. It is a text that the scholars of Ohara already deem significant enough to save during the destruction of their island. Furthermore, the introduction of Elbaph at this point in the story aligns with Oda's pattern of using key locations to connect different aspects of the past and present. Luis Arnaud, a character previously known only through his book, gains a new level of importance by being associated with a place as foundational as Elbaph. This elevates the book to being not only a potential key to reaching LAUGHTALE, but also a means of achieving a deeper understanding of the world and its history. Elbaph's role in this theory is not just as a backdrop, it is a setting rich with meaning. It represents a convergence of past knowledge, symbolized by the books from Ohara, and the present narrative led by the Straw Hats. This combination could unlock secrets that have been hidden since the beginning. Not only does this add depth to the One Piece world, but it also reinforces Elbaph's importance as a pivotal point in the story. Nico Robin's role in this theory is pivotal, as her ability to read the poneglyphs and her extensive knowledge of history make her the ideal person to interpret any hidden clues in Bragman. If Luis Arnaut's book truly contains information about how to reach Laughtale, Robin would be the one to connect the dots and decipher its message. Drawing on both her studies in O'Hara and her experience with the poneglyphs the Straw Hats have encountered so far. What's intriguing is that Robin might not be the only one contributing. Other characters like Nami, with her exceptional navigation skills and photographic memory, could recall key details about the book from when they first saw it in Little Garden. This opens the possibility for the Straw Hats to collaborate in interpreting the content of Bragman and solving the puzzle that could lead them to Laughtale. Their teamwork would highlight how each member's unique abilities play a vital role in the adventure. Additionally, Robin's connection to Saul, who was revealed to be alive in Elbaph, could add an emotional dimension to this part of the story. If Saul confirms that the rescued books contain critical clues or even mentions that Bragman was instrumental in preserving O'Hara's knowledge, it would further elevate the book's importance and strengthen Robin's personal connection to the story. This would not only motivate her to dig deeper, but also add a heartfelt layer to her pursuit. On the other hand, the possibility of other characters outside the Straw Hats, such as Blackbeard or Shanks, also finding the book and interpreting it differently creates an interesting contrast. While Robin and the Straw Hats would aim to use the information to complete their adventure with integrity, others might seek to exploit the contents of Bragman for their own ambitions. This type of conflict would enrich the plot and add another layer of tension to the race for Laughtale. The inclusion of Bragman and the role that Robin and the rest of the Straw Hats could play in interpreting it underscores the idea that knowledge, both historical and practical, is one of the most valuable tools in the world of One Piece. This not only reaffirms Robin's significance as a cornerstone of the crew, but also highlights how every member has an essential role in unraveling the series' greatest mysteries. And that's it for today's theory. What do you think? Do you find it too crazy, or do you think it makes a lot of sense and could actually happen in the story? Let me know all your thoughts about the theory in the comments. I'm excited to read your opinions. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can reach 3,000 subscribers and make my dream come true. That's all for now, sending you a big hug, and I'll see you in the next video.